The Los Angeles Lakers are sitting near the top of the Western Conference right now, and on the surface, that alone feels like a major success story. But beneath the standings, beneath the box scores and nightly highlights, something far more significant is quietly taking shape. Something that could elevate this franchise from a strong playoff team into a long-term NBA powerhouse. There have been conversations, internal evaluations, and behind-the-scenes interests that don't surface on the scoreboard, yet they point toward a future that could fundamentally reshape the balance of power in this league. When player ambition and organizational vision start aligning this cleanly, it's usually a signal that something big may be coming. Before we get into the details, make sure you're subscribed to the channel and have notifications turned on. Unfortunately, 99% of our viewers aren't subscribed, which makes YouTube think we're not relevant. The next stretch of content will be entirely focused on Lakers-related news, roster moves, and league context. If you want to stay informed as things unfold, this is the place to do it. And as always, if you support this kind of coverage, hitting the like button helps more than you might think. Let's start by grounding ourselves in the present. The Lakers just came away with a gritty 112-108 win over the Philadelphia 76ers, pushing their record to 17-6 and reinforcing their position near the top of the West. They've won 9 of their last 11 games, and that kind of sustained success doesn't happen by accident. The offense is operating with rhythm and purpose. The defense has taken a noticeable step forward, and the chemistry across the rotation is beginning to resemble what championship teams typically build over time. This roster is no longer figuring itself out. It's executing. The foundation of that success is a true offensive trio that forces defenses into impossible choices every night. Austin Reaves has taken a leap that can't be ignored anymore, producing at near all-star levels while impacting games on both ends of the floor. His shot creation, decision-making, and late-game poise have become central to how the Lakers close games. Reaves has evolved beyond the role-player label. He's now a core piece of the franchise, and that status carries real weight when discussing both winning now and shaping the future. Then there's LeBron James, who continues to operate as if time simply doesn't apply to him. At an age when most legends are long past their prime, LeBron remains a dominant two-way presence who can still dictate the flow of a game whenever he chooses. His intelligence, leadership, and ability to elevate everyone around him are still elite, and as long as he's performing at this level, the Lakers remain legitimate title contenders. That window won't stay open forever, but right now it's very much open. And of course there's Luka Dončić, acquired in February in a move that sent shockwaves across the league. Luka has blended seamlessly into the Lakers system, forming immediate chemistry with LeBron and transforming the offense into a constant problem for opposing defenses. Whether it's pick-and-roll manipulation, transition playmaking, or half-court creation, Luka brings a level of control and creativity that changes the geometry of the floor. He wanted to be in Los Angeles. He wanted to compete for championships, and so far, the partnership has delivered exactly what the Lakers envisioned. Since Luka's arrival, the organization has made it clear that he's a long-term pillar. The additions of Marcus Smart and DeAndre Ayton weren't coincidence. They were calculated moves designed to maximize Luka's strengths. Smart brings defensive edge, toughness, and playoff experience, while Ayton adds rim protection, rebounding, and vertical spacing that opens lanes for the perimeter stars. These decisions signal a front office fully committed to capitalizing on a championship window. But here's where the story takes a much more intriguing turn, so stay with me. Despite the Lakers' current success and their position in the standings, there's a growing internal acknowledgement that this team may still be one elite piece away from becoming truly overwhelming. Not better. Unstoppable. In today's NBA, championships are often decided by who has the most top-end talent, and the Lakers understand that consolidating greatness is sometimes the final step from contender to favorite. Meanwhile, things in Milwaukee have not gone according to plan. The Bucks have struggled, their roster construction has drawn criticism, and coaching decisions have been questioned throughout the league. Most importantly, their franchise superstar appears increasingly frustrated with the direction of the team. When a player of that stature shows signs of discontent, every contender starts paying attention. The Lakers are no exception, and the connections here run deeper than casual speculation. Months ago, league chatter began circulating that this superstar was evaluating his future, prioritizing a situation where championship contention was realistic year after year. His reported preference initially leaned toward New York, where the market, the spotlight, and the opportunity to form a contender were all appealing. Those Knicks discussions reportedly advanced to serious stages, with Milwaukee listening and evaluating offers. However, New York ultimately couldn't meet the Bucks' demands. Their willingness to center a deal around Karl-Anthony Towns fell short of what Milwaukee wanted in return for a player of this caliber, and the talks stalled. That's when other teams began positioning themselves, and according to multiple league sources, the Lakers were among those who made inquiries. Los Angeles explored what it would take, what assets would be required, and whether there was a realistic pathway to executing a trade of this magnitude. What makes this even more compelling is that Luka Dončić himself reportedly reached out to gauge the feasibility of bringing this superstar to Los Angeles. That's not normal. That's a franchise player actively recruiting because he believes in what this team could become. The motivation is simple: championships. Individual awards are already on the resume. The desire now is legacy, sustained contention, and competing on the biggest stages. Los Angeles offers all of that: the market, the infrastructure, the talent, and the expectations. The player we're talking about is Giannis Antetokounmpo, and despite how wild it might sound at first, the possibility of him wearing purple and gold is more real than many want to admit. To be clear, this is based on league sources and ongoing rumors, not confirmed transactions. But the smoke is there. When you look at the fit, it's obvious why this makes sense. Giannis alongside LeBron and Luka would form a trio unlike anything the league has seen in years. His interior dominance, defensive versatility, and transition power would mesh perfectly with Luka's playmaking and LeBron's all-around brilliance. Defensively, the combination of Giannis, Smart, and Ayton could suffocate opponents in playoff settings, where stops matter more than style. From the Lakers' perspective, this would be classic franchise behavior: bold, aggressive, unapologetic. Historically, the Lakers have always leaned into star power when the moment calls for it. Financially and contractually, the move would be complex but manageable, with Giannis under control for multiple seasons. Milwaukee would demand a massive return, and that likely starts with Austin Reaves. Losing Reaves would hurt, no question. He's grown into a star here. But the hard truth is that trading potential for proven greatness is often how championships are won. Giannis is a two-time MVP, a Finals MVP, and a proven championship centerpiece. The urgency is real. LeBron's timeline matters. Luka wants to win now. Milwaukee may recognize that waiting only reduces Giannis's trade value. And in a West loaded with contenders, standing still might not be enough. I understand the skepticism. Trades like this are rare, and the cost would be steep. But championships aren't built by playing it safe. They're built by seizing moments when they present themselves. So now I want to hear from you. Would you trade Austin Reaves and additional assets for Giannis Antetokounmpo? Do you believe this is realistic, or are there factors holding it back? And how do you feel about the idea of LeBron, Luka, and Giannis chasing titles together in Los Angeles? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. If this breakdown gave you real insight into what could become one of the biggest moments in recent Lakers history, make sure you're subscribed to Universe Los Angeles Lakers News with notifications on. Hit that like button, share this with fellow Lakers fans, and stay locked in, because the next few months could change everything. Let's go, Lakers.